For over 15 years they've been holding these summits, bringing together the governments of the UK, Ireland, Wales, Scotland, Northern Ireland, the Isle of Man, Jersey and Guernsey. But a month ago few might have anticipated this impromptu summer gathering. An extraordinary summit to discuss Brexit, and for some, the most important yet in the British-Irish Council's history.
This perhaps is the biggest challenge that our administrations have all faced collectively.
The Welsh First Minister was hosting. The setting, Cardiff's Temple of Peace and Health, built on the ideals of internationalism, where once more they pored over the lingering entrails of the EU referendum.
It would not be acceptable, either south or north, that there would be a European Union border running from Dundalk to Derry. That would not be acceptable.
Brexit means borders, but what type? There are major questions now about what will happen to border roads like this between Northern Ireland and the Republic when one day they'll mark the outer limits of the European Union. The Irish Prime Minister today was clear about what he didn't want.
We're not going back to the days of checkpoints and towers and customs and all of that. And as has been pointed out on many occasions, that would be a very retrograde step.
There was consensus on that, but mostly guesswork, it seems, on how it's actually achieved. And the UK government can't call all the shots here was a recurring theme. The Welsh First Minister spoke of different parts of the UK forming different relationships with the EU, a potent topic, of course, for his Scottish counterpart. Do you really think Scotland can stay in the UK and the EU at the same time?
Well, it's an option I think should be open for consideration. We're in uncharted territory.
The UK government's Attorney General has said that that's not possible.
Well, you know, frankly, if the UK government means what it says about caring about the United Kingdom and wanting to listen to Scotland's voice and simply ruling out options before we've had a chance to consider them doesn't really send the right message.
And what about money? Carwyn Jones told me he feared the people of Wales getting done over, in his words, when the EU funding finally goes. Do you have any faith in the UK government in terms of replicating that?
Not so far,
I've
got to say, not so far.
And he wasn't alone in that.
Do I trust this British government to ensure that what we lose as a result of being taken out of Europe against our will be compensated for by this British government to the full? No, I do not.
And listening to that, a few seats along, looking down, was the man from the UK government. We asked him directly. Will the EU money be replicated by a Westminster government?
Well, we need to reflect on what we're hearing from the devolved administrations, equally reflecting on a lot of programmes and projects.
But you don't need to listen to them because they'll want that money. So are you going to give it to them?
I think we need to sort of assess what they're saying to us, assess what those programmes and projects are. So there's a lot of work, a lot of thinking that still needs to be done around this, and we're not at that stage yet to be able to give those definitive answers on a whole range of issues at the moment.
When will they have those answers? That's far from clear. If temples were built for ritual and spiritual comfort, well, there was certainly ritual here today. As for political comfort, well, they didn't look so sure about that.